Hello and welcome to this exciting and transformative training on personal development and success. But let me give you a little bit of introduction about myself before I talk about the training. So I started out my career as an aeronautical engineer in the Air Force and worked for them for several years, and then I decided that that wasn't something I wanted to do. So in pursuit of higher education, I moved to the US and completed a master's program in telecom. Switching my career completely from aerospace engineering to IT, and then moved to Canada back in 1999. I spent 15 years in the IT industry and worked for many large corporations, including Cisco, where I worked for 10 years in 3 different countries. And then I decided to do something different, and I ended up buying a franchise business in Canada, ran that business successfully, and ended up selling that business just recently. But in the last 10 years or so, I was investing in myself, learning from the top coaches available in the industry on the topic of personal development and success. So over the last several years, what I've done is I've consolidated all of that learning into one tiny course, which is what you are going to be seeing shortly. And I've combined the learning from various success coaches into one simple training program. And I'm calling it Developing Success Mindset. Some of the top industry coaches that I work with include Darren Hardy, Brian Tracy, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, who was Darren Hardy's mentor, Tony Robbins, and I'm also a member of John Maxwell's leadership program, where he trains leadership and success coaches. So with all of that learning that has been put into this simple 3 to 4 hour training program, I'm hoping that it's going to cause huge impact in your success journey, hopefully accelerating that journey many times over. So the way I've organized this training is I've broken it into 10 separate modules, and you're going to go through each module. So there was a live training session that was conducted recently in Canada, and you will be watching that training here as well in those modules. So this first module that you're going to see now, I'm talking about and explaining what a mindset is and what success really means, right? So you might have different definitions of success, but we're going to demystify what a mindset is and what success really means. So I invite you to join the front row of this live training session, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. And all I'm asking for from you is your full attention. So please leave everything else you are doing and focus 100% on this training. Thank you. I can tell you this, that it took me many years to get to this point. It took me several years to put this together. What you're seeing today, it's not my creation. I learned this stuff. Just like, PhD doctors, right? They learn all of that for 20 years and then they start teaching. So you have to get to that level. And I spent a lot of time learning this stuff. So most of this is what I learned from other people. And I just tried to put it together in the way that I thought would make the most sense for everybody. The other thing is, my hope is, and I really want us, when we leave here, our lives should change starting tomorrow. Because that's the goal of this training. So, what this training is not, it's not a motivational lecture. It's not going to be a motivational lecture. It's not about making passive money. So I'm not going to talk about making online, passive money. The money keeps coming. There's no discussion about that. There's no jumping, singing, no chanting, none of that. And there's of course no promise of becoming a millionaire overnight. The training is about developing a success mindset. But we're not talking about becoming a millionaire. By the way, I do have a separate training that I'm working on right now. and that's called The Art and Science of Getting Rich. It's all about money. That training is all about how do you become rich? What do you have to do to become rich? Today's focus is more on making a mindset that makes us successful. So before even I go there, these are the type of people that I think this training is for. People who are struggling to succeed in life. They're really hardworking, honest, sincere, but struggling to be successful in life. They have a burning desire to achieve success. If you don't have a burning desire, there's not much in this training for you. If you are in business, people that are looking to grow their business. And business grows when the sales grow. So if your sales grow, your business will grow. Right? People that are passionate about productivity, very, very passionate about being very productive. Most of us do want to be productive, but today we're going to learn some strategies and some tools that will make you more productive. And willing to learn, and more importantly, unlearn. Because we have to unlearn a few things to learn new things, right? You have to make room for new things to come into our mind, a conscious mind. Okay, so these are the topics. This is what we're going to talk about. Well, first of all, we're going to demystify the definition of success, because, you know, you ask 10 people good definition of success and they come up with 10 different definitions. Why do we get stuck in life? I'll just quickly review a few things that actually make us stuck in life. So we're going to talk about that. How does a human brain function? And you know, I've been thinking about this for many, many years. Because when we are born, just like, you know, when you buy any gadget, it comes with a owner's manual, right? So you know how to use it. But our brains, we never learned how to use our brain. We don't really know how it functions. Forget how to use it. We don't even know how it functions. To be honest with you, I just learned this stuff like a few years ago. And I'm done with my career and everything, right? Many of you are just starting out in their careers. So we're gonna try and understand, how does our brain function? What is it actually? What is the brain? So subconscious mind is a very important component of our mind, our brain. We're going to talk about that as well. And then we're going to talk about the most important skill of the 21st century. If there's one, which one is it? We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about the number one productivity killer. What is it that really kills our productivity? That means you can't do that. It's a big no-no. And then we're going to talk about massive leverage. You know, successful people don't try to get all done. Don't try to do everything. They just try to do the most important things. They get done the most important things. So we're going to try and understand, what does that really mean, massive leverage. Vital functions. So we're going to talk about vital functions. How are they important? We're going to talk about success attributes. So 9 attributes that I studied from different books, from different places. I put together 9 that I think are really crucial. So if you want to be successful, and by the way, success leaves tracks. You just follow the tracks and you'll be successful. And if you're wondering, then why is it that most people are not successful? You know why, I think? Because they don't care. They don't look for those tracks. If you want to be successful in life, just follow the tracks of other successful people and you'll be successful. It's that easy. It's that simple. But the thing is, honestly, I never did. And I think most people never try to look for the tracks of successful people. So we're going to learn those 9 attributes that are common in all successful people. Try to see if you can adopt some of those attributes. We're going to talk about some tricks. How do you triple your productivity? So you think you're very productive, but we'll talk about some of the techniques. I'll give you some tools to triple your productivity. And then that's a beautiful tool, Sunday planning tool. So I'm going to talk about a tool that it was used by a billionaire, And my mentor, he talks about that in his training, which is what I'm going to share with you. What is that Sunday planning tool? So this tool alone is worth the price and time of this training. And then we'll talk a little bit about goal creation. You know, it's really surprising that most people don't really have goals. And if you go and ask your friends, I can guarantee, you pick the 10 most, you think smart guys, 10 smart gals, ask them if they have goals written down. They'll say, yeah, they're all in my mind. I know my goals, they're in my mind, but they haven't written them down. They can't really list them. So we'll talk about that a little bit, and then I have some advices, like, I thought some general, advices, guidelines, suggestions that I think each is worth $1 million. And then in the end, we'll spend maybe 10-15 minutes. There are 13 specific action items for all of us to implement in our lives starting tomorrow. Because if you're not willing to do that, there's no point coming here. So we'll talk about 13 specific action items that we can implement in our lives. Maybe some we already follow, maybe some we already really do religiously, but maybe not. So we're going to talk about those.